Welcome to the Orlando Lions Den podcast, your number one Orlando City podcast for the fans, by the fans, for the fans, by the fans. Keeping you in the know on all things Orlando City since 2018.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another edition of the Orlando Lions Den podcast. Rarely seen live on a Monday, but we got a game tomorrow night, so we got plenty of things to talk about. I am very excited to have my boys back with me. First, I'm going to go over to Eddie. Eddie, how you doing tonight, man? Good to see you.
Good, man. Good to see you guys. I mean, not on as often as I like, but 2 games in 1 week, plus another one tomorrow. We got a lot to talk about.
And then I got my boy Swag with me. It's world traveler flying all over the country. Swag, how you doing, brother?
I'm all right, buddy. Hanging in there. I'm doing all right. Spent a week at home, so that was nice.
Dude, I'm glad you got to spend the week at home. I know it wasn't the best circumstances, but it's always good to see family. And I know you definitely cherish that time. So I'm happy that you at least got to spend time with everybody. Unfortunately, you didn't get to go to one of these crazy games, though.
No. The match against Philly, I was I forgot what I was doing that night. I think I had my little brother's football game or something. And then I was on the airplane flying. It should be illegal. 6.5-hour flight on a Airbus A321 should be banned from existence. But yeah, those
are just too tiny for that long of a flight.
It shouldn't be illegal. And I even got the comfort, with like the extra legroom.
The upgrade.
What do you do? Do you sit on the aisle and then take the risk that the person, one of the 2 people in the middle or both of them want to get up 50 times during the flight to use the bathroom? Or do you sit in the window and you just don't want to be that person, so you don't get up for 6 hours? Which one do you guys prefer?
I would still be the aisle, I think.
I like the window. I'm just that guy. Like, hey, sorry.
I chose the window, but I'm just too big to sleep on. It doesn't matter what comfort level it is. If it's not first class, it's like I can't do it. Jake, they already do it. They already fly it across the Atlantic, the A321 Neo, and I know JetBlue started it, and I mean they fly the 7.5. United does in the 7.6, and that's the same thing. It's like
I can't sleep in a panel.
Should be illegal. All the advancements that they made, damn Pratt and Whitney making these fuel efficient engines to where they can stick them on these tiny airplanes and get them 7 hours of range is ridiculous.
Well, that's how they get you, I guess. I don't know. I'm enjoying that now that I have to fly for work. I'm flying nicer airlines. Like your boy's so used to flying Frontier and Spirit that now I'm flying United, and I'm like, God damn, was I poor?
I mean, it was Delta. It was Delta both ways. It was nice, but I decided that when I go home, I'm going to be doing the layover for sure. There's no chance I'm not stopping.
Besides the deplaning flight, like a New Virgin Atlantic on the way to England, I did Continental this last trip, and then
Continental, boy, that's how you know he's old.
Yeah, it was just part of some package, right? And I was like, it was late, and it was no big deal. Then I did like Delta or something for work, and then there was no AC from like Atlanta to Charleston. I was like, none of this happened ever with Spirit or Frontier with me. So
Continental hasn't been an airline for 14 years, Eddie, or something like that.
Which one? It's got like it looks like a
United.
It's United. Is that who it was? Yeah, that one was late. We were on the runway, and I'm like, what is this? What are Spirit, official airlines of Puerto Ricans? I was like, I don't understand. Is it just less of us there? Like, I didn't understand. It was just part of the package, but I didn't get why this is more expensive. I really didn't.
That's good, Jake. I'm laughing at the Pan Am.
Yeah, well,
yeah, man.
Pan Am.
It was so hot. Like,
what happened to those?
I don't get why the pilots are so stingy. I learned this last one. When I'm up there in the front of the big jet, I'm putting the AC down. there's no reason to be putting it at 78 or 80 degrees when there's, I mean, it's negative 40 degrees outside when you're up there. I think we can pump some of that air in. We don't have to be stingy and put it at 80
Isn't there like
degrees.
the settings where the outside comes in, right, kind of thing, like on your car?
Yeah.
Like if you're in traffic, you're supposed to use one thing when you're not. But yeah, we had no AC on whatever airline, American Airlines from Charleston to Atlanta. But I think the air waitress dude liked me. He gave me like 6 packets of Biscoff cookies. So I was like, whatever, we'll make it. It's only like 40 minutes. so I ate them before we took off, but so it worked out. Anyway,
all right. Well, we'll go ahead. We got plenty of stuff to talk about.
We'll save that
talk about
for the airline podcast.
Cross Atlantic flights here. We'll get the airline podcast going up after this. But first, go ahead and give quick shout outs. First, Chad McGibbon, if you're buying a home in the Central Florida area, Chad McGibbon's your man. QR code in the screen or at Chad McGibbon on Twitter. Then we got the Epic Mortgage Team powered by U Mortgage. Our man, Leo Gonzalez, if you're trying to buy a home, he's got you covered when it comes to your finance, refinance, mortgage, all that fun stuff. 407-844-7696. And rather than me give you the Eddie spiel, Eddie, you're going to give the Eddie spiel. What's new in the world of insurance for the people that they need to know?
Nothing too exciting. There, some companies are actually freezing some rates. There wasn't hurricane landed last year, so the house stuff is kind of stabilizing. Some are coming back. So if you've had the same home insurance for a couple of years, you need to shop it because you're probably paying too much. So that's primarily it. And Alex, I forgot about it. We got to update your renter's insurance. Thanks for being here and reminding me.
Look at this.
And guys, life insurance, guys. We've had too many people in this fan base. There's been tragedies, and it's nice to help and raise money, but you could help alleviate that burden by getting life insurance.
Fair enough.
For sure.
Always the go-to warning.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, let's head. Feels weird being live on a Monday, but here we are. So let's go ahead and start the off. We'll go ahead and begin talking about the ridiculous 4-3 win over Philly. The 4-3 win that, almost wasn't a couple times. We got things kicked off. Martin Ojeda with a penalty in the 19th minute after a beautiful, like the third in a row, beautiful long ball over the top by Justin Ellis. Philly just was still asleep, not figuring it out. Dorsey added a second in the 27th minute. Then we got Philly to start to come back 2-1 in the second half. And then Duncan McGuire with a goal that it seemed like he just needed. Great pass. My favorite part about that was you literally had Martin Ojeda looking at Tyrese Spicer and just telling him, pass that way, like pointing over to Duncan McGuire, like give him the ball. Don't give it to me. He finished it off. And then right after that, we let that 16-year-old little Man City twerp, Kevin Sullivan, score on us. They got another goal in the 79th minute to tie it up. And then who wins it? Martin Ojeda in the 90th minute off of a great cross by Adrian Marine. This was the 5th game in a row where a goal was scored to decide the game in the 90th minute or later as far as Orlando City goes, which ridiculous. But a win is a win. We got 3 points against what was realistically the worst team in the league. So worst or second to worst team in the league. They're down there right now. But we'll go ahead and take those points. Martin Ojeda stays on a hot streak of form. Swag, I'll go to you first since this one was the one that you did get to watch in full. What were your thoughts on the craziness that you saw on Wednesday at Inter & Co Stadium?
It was it's one of those matches, man. You gotta win these home matches against lesser opponents. I mean, things change yearly. One thing never changes. It's that you gotta beat these teams at home that are below you on the table, and that is in any sport, any sport that you watch. So it was a much needed win. I was nervous when we gave up the 2 goals back to back. Seemingly, I was nervous we were going to lose. To be honest, another Perelman special, and it was, it was a good match overall. Ojeda missed an opportunity or two. Duncan, man, I thought when he first hit that and it hit the keeper's leg through the 5 hole, I was like, there's no way he missed that. this is how bad it is for Duncan right now. Like, there's no way. But sometimes, those are the ones that you need to see go in, and I'm happy for him. Hopefully that that changes some things for him for sure. Justin Ellis, man of the match for me for the 60 some odd minutes that he was in, which is incredible to say for now 19, but an 18-year-old kid at the time of the game. And
Growing up
the
so fast.
kid's, I mean, he just doesn't. We've had some good young talent, right? We've had, DK and Freeman, and I just have never seen a kid play for us like that, where you're thinking to yourself, like, he doesn't belong in the MLS. He's not supposed to be here. So I don't know how long we'll have him for. Yeah, we'll have him long enough, obviously, till Antoine Griezmann gets in. But yeah, I was happy that we won the game. It was needed. And it's just one of those games where, especially where you're at, where we are, and we're kind of on the fringe right now. You gotta win them. You gotta win the games. Crepeau probably could have been better on that third goal for
The
sure.
third one for sure, yeah.
And it's just Otavio on the Sullivan goal was just lost when he got in. Just lost his man, and it's just we're piecing it together, but still leaky in the defense, and we still need some help. Anton Griezmann isn't going to save the defense, but luckily we're starting to score some goals.
Very true. Very true. Eddie, what do you got to say about that? I'm putting up a little glizzy statement here. Our second academy down south continues to produce great players for us. Thanks, Miami. Because I believe Justin Ellis was from down in South Florida. Obviously, Alex Freeman was down from South Florida, and their top prospect just defected and joined the Orlando City Academy and scored 2 goals on them immediately, including one, which was a very much a grown man goal like 2 weekends ago,
Macho.
where he just bodied a guy. Yeah, Eddie
for like
Eddie
10 yards.
Macho.
Like 10 yards he bodied him and then just bent with his left foot. I was like, what kind of demon did we steal? That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of demon, 15-year-old demon we stole, but this kid looks good.
Most 15-year-olds are.
Demons,
yeah. But no, like it was crazy. It was a fun watch, stressful watch. But we scored some goals, and the thing was, scored a lot of goals. The thing was, we could have scored more. Marno had us like 4 for 5 or whatever right now, 9 goals, but he should have had 5 in this one. In the next game we'll talk about, he should have had a couple too. So it's really wild. And if we had about 12, we had 12 shots on goal in this one. We scored 4, but we had 12 shots, 6 on goal. So we were efficient. That's the weird part, is that we had some good chances. We just weren't hitting the frame. So I actually think Duncan's been playing well this, as of late. So I was glad to see him get a goal. I think he deserved it. He's played well. Some passes haven't come off. Some people haven't finished some chances. Marno Heda's marathon, continues. He's going to need that World Cup break, like big time. But we're playing him in this weird like central role, and he's such a smart player. He's getting in good spaces, and who knew that like we're going to use Justin Ellis like KDB, kind of like he just goes wherever he needs to make passes, and he's just a baller, and he's 2-footed, good IQ. I mean, it's crazy how much we're playing through him. We've had problems kind of connecting from the back through the front, and now we've kind of helped bridge that issue with Justin Ellis, right? You tell me at the beginning of the year, our connector playmaker from deep in the midfield is going to be Justin Ellis. Nobody would have believed you. Like Mike has been the leader. I've hyped on Justin Ellis for a bit too, and Mike's been been the guy in charge of the Ellis parade here. Yeah. And we've been telling you, and one of the things I've harped on a lot is his ability to drop in deep and pass, put people in behind. Like he did that a lot at OCB. If you watch the U19 and the successful teams, that's what he was doing with them. Like he can't do that. He's not just going to be the like Fox in the box striker. He scored that way so far, but he's shown that he's just a really complete player. So enjoy him while he's here. This academy, man, Javier and his crew are really cooked over. And since Ricardo's got his hands on it, and these guys like Javier and these other guys have grown. It's been really, really good. We had a late start. We had to reset it. The beginning was okay, then we retried something, and now we've rebooted it, and now it's a top academy. So it is great seeing that. I'm not gonna play the kids guy just because I play the kids. I don't care where they're from per se. Um, but guy, if they're old enough, they're good enough, and Ellis is good enough. So that
This
was good
guy
to see.
had,
Defense.
I think he had more dribbles past defenders in 45 minutes than Edward S. West has had in the last 35 matches. So that was
I'd
pretty
be curious to
impressive.
go take a look at those stats, actually.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah,
because
yeah.
there was that time. It was, I think, right in like the middle of the first half where he tried to dribble out of like a corner kick defense and like basically took 3 defenders with him. And it was one of those things where all of us were watching, and he magically did do it, ended with a nutmeg, cleared the ball up the field. But like there was like 8 seconds where he was just surrounded and finding a way to dribble, and we're just all like, get rid of the ball, get rid of the ball. And it's
right.
I love seeing that confidence from an 18, now 19-year-old kid, but at the same time, I'm also sitting there like, dude, it's an 18, 19-year-old kid. Like, I'm scared.
Right. Like at the same time, he's got like the cojones to pull it off at the same time, or like, you don't have to like live, because after that he passes it and loses it, and then he goes like hunts the guy down and fouls him. I'm pretty sure, it's like, so he was just like, he was just on tilt. He was just like high on adrenaline. He just went out of control. And if Alex were to go to his seat ever, he'll see that would have been a really good view from where we are. So I saw
It's hard when you're 2,800 miles away. It's tough to make it to
I'm
the
surprised
seat.
you kept the seats. Yeah. One day you're just gonna drop Enzo off. You're like, Eric's like, you just take it. I'm like, I got it. You're like, the what's it called?
My
Or
donation to
Leo or
Antoine
something.
Griezmann.
Right, yeah, that's Greece was fun, but it was just a really good view, and it was really nerve wracking. I don't think I blinked, or my heart beat that whole sequence. But overall, it was a good, exciting win. But it's a bad team. We shouldn't at home still be relying on countering. Shouldn't be relying on. We gave up 24 shots to Philadelphia. 24 shots. It's crazy, right? Especially when you're in the lead. You should kill the game off. You could put your foot down on the ball, and I just don't like where the area of engagement. Like, our first engagement is too deep. We're too many people in our box, and you see the thing with Otavio. We'll talk about it later. It's like, we're having this habit where our midfielders are dropping in with the back line. We're almost like a back 6-7, and there's just space at the top of the box for things to happen. Yeah, there you go, Alex. Yeah, there's space at the top of the box, and it's hurting us. So, positive in that we're scoring and creating some chances. Negative is in that everybody else is scoring and creating chances against us. So, clean sheets we're just allergic to it. It's just not happening. So, happy about the win, but this is a win you should have. And against a bad team and at home, you need to collect those wins. But I don't want to be playing road type of football at home, and that's what's been frustrating. It doesn't, just because we scored the 4 goals doesn't mean that's a sustainable method to win. Like, it's not the ends justify the means. It's not how I want to see our football. That's not the way it's going to work long term.
I mean, the fact that we've won 3 of our last 5 games 4-3 isn't necessarily a good thing. It's good that we're scoring 4 goals. It's not good that we're conceding 3 goals.
We lost 2. When you defend that deep, you're relying on first, you get traffic for the goalie. Some of these ones that Crepeau looks like he could do better, I just think he's seeing them late. Like, it could be positioning, it could be stuff like that, like the Miami goal, right? One of those, right? So, and why there's just a million people on his lap, This guy got more people on his lap than Santa Claus, right? So there's just traffic, there's deflections, there's all kinds of there's things that cause problems, and there's amount of shots, and then you don't have rest defense. You got weary legs. Ojeda's coming through on goal. He's getting chased down. She's tired, and heavy legs equal bad shots and bad ball striking and bad decisions and the wrong weight on the pass. Not everyone's Angulo. And when you don't have the ball, you're always locked. You're locked in. It's draining on you, and you're always running side to side, and you're sliding, and you're blocking in the box, and you're clearing stuff, and you don't get the chance to reset, and it's not sustainable, and that leads to blowing 2-goal leads twice. It's 2-0 to 3-1, and we had to pull it off in the last. moment by, Marin a peach of a cross in there. Because Spicer crosses it, but they're always like 90 miles per hour. Marin just,
It's true.
kind of at a weird angle, just
What beauty.
nice like touch. Yeah, little screen, and then Ojeda just dove. And Duncan was right there. I think he would have gotten it if Martin didn't get it. So, that was they're pros, but for years I've been talking about performances, right? I take any win. I don't really care if it's ugly or pretty. I'm just talking about, is it sustainable? Is it
3 points is
intentional?
3 points.
Are we reactive? Is this reactive or is this proactive kind of thing? And that's what I'm talking about. So I'll take the points, and we're close to the playoff line now, which is positive.
Yeah,
But,
exactly.
But that was foreshadowing of kind of the second game.
Exactly. And just to speak to Jake's question here, personally think Martin Ojeda is tired. Maybe that's why he's not performing fantastically. Last time he played less than 80 minutes in a game. I'm not counting the FC Naples Open Cup game because he did not start in that game. But in a league game he got subbed out in the 62nd minute against NYCFC on March 7th. Since then, March 14th, he got subbed. Yeah, March 14th, he got subbed out in the 84th against Montreal, and he got subbed out in the 89th against Miami. He has played pretty much every minute of league play since Oscar Pareja left this team.
And he should have never seen the field for FC Naples, but we're so bad that day.
We were poor. We needed extra help, and it still didn't even bring it. So
right now, especially Marco not being healthy and not being close to 90 minutes, and we have no one who could just like win you a game late, So they keep Martin on for him to do Martin things like he did, so. But yeah, man, Oscar was like, this guy can't do 60 minutes, and Behrman's like, this guy,
he could do every minute actually. So
they got some beef back from Argentina or something.
I don't know. We'll find out. So, all right. So that brings us to this past weekend. Swag was in the air on the worst flight ever. We discussed about that. Well, not the worst flight ever. There's definitely worse ones. But
it sounds like a bad flight, honestly. Man.
It just sounded like a not fun flight. And so is Cleon. That's why he's not here. He's on a flight. He's as well.
He's on a work flight.
He was on a work flight of all things, like actual work too. So shout out Cleon, actually working. But it was a 1-1 draw. Beautiful first goal set up by a lovely ball by Martin Ojeda to Ivan Angulo, who then put it into the center for Griffin Dorsey, who once again is our most forward player, which is weird, but whatever, it's working. 2 goals in 2 games. You take that. And then I think it was around the 84th minute, I think, is when we concede the equalizer, 80th, 84th minute, something like that. Literally, commentator went on to say that Miami has never Orlando City hasn't conceded a goal or hasn't kept a clean sheet since June of 2025. And then they double whammy by saying Atlanta is one of 2 teams to have not scored a goal after the 85th or 75th minute this year. So you knew that goal was coming. And it's one of those things where it's just disappointing because it's such a simple finish for the player from Atlanta, Jay Fortune, because we just let him have it. He was alone. Yeah, shut up. God damn it, Eddie.
That was just right there, buddy.
You bastard. You bastard. No, but it was. You're right. But that's the thing is he was at the top of the 18. No one around him. Wilder just tracked into the box and completely left him wide open. Settled the ball, take a shot, boom. Like, I can't be mad at Maxime Crépeau. He couldn't do anything about it. His defense let that goal happen because they just left a man wide open at the top of the box. So, Eddie, I'll go to you.
Back line.
Realistically, like, I feel like the discussion against this game is going to be similar discussion to the last game, only this one's about a draw rather than a win. And that's just taking a look at the fact that the game model is not sustainable. Like, this is against a bad Montreal team. We let them get 23 shots. Bad Philadelphia team. We let them get 26 shots. Against a bad Atlanta team, they got 20. Against Atlanta, we got 7. Against Philly, we got 12. Against Montreal, I'm going to hate this number, we got 8. Like, it's one of those things where I said it on Den After Dark, and you kind of echoed my statement on that, but maybe people didn't listen to that. So, obviously we want to give people the opportunity to hear it here. Your best asset is your attackers. I don't care that Martin Ojeda is necessarily tired, but Justin Ellis has come in and he's been a baller. Getting forward off the bench, Tyrese Spicer has been very bright and encouraging. You got Marco Pasalic back. Martin Ojeda put up, 5 goals in his last 2 league games going into this one, and he's or last 3 games, whatever. And he's showing that MVP caliber play again. So it's one of those things where I kind of sit here and I'm like, why in the hell are we playing defensive-minded soccer, especially at home, when defense is the worst part of our team at this point? There's no sense in what we're doing. And, Swag, I'll go to you first because we talked about it at length. Like, can you make sense of why that's the thought process? Like, why would we even be doing that? Because to me, it just shows a coach who's out of his depth.
Yeah, definitely out of his depth. 100%. Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
did I ramp up to get my opinion in your head enough?
Listen, the thing is like, he wasn't a successful MLS Next coach. These are the same type of. He was okay, but it wasn't, award-winning, worthy of even consideration for an MLS job, in my opinion. And that's what, like, the third tier of soccer. So, yeah, definitely out of his depth. I mean, it's no hate against him. We've talked about it to no end. It's we probably should have made the move away from Oscar last year. I personally would have made the move away from Oscar after we lost the Eastern Conference Final at home. I would have done it 2 years ago, right? But we're in this place with the World Cup, and good coaches are waiting for European spots to open up, and we're kind of stuck with it. I was really at my wit's end in the Montreal match, in my opinion, because we lost. We're down, 3-0 to Miami, and then he makes some changes that were really good changes in the second half, and we come back and we win. And then this idea that, I get it on paper. It's like probably the most rudimentary thought process. Like, oh, these guys that just came back from 3-0 and won, let's start them in the next match. And for me, I would have been more of, let's not give up 3 goals and then bring these same guys in, that make a change. Because we started Spicer in that match, and Spicer is just a super sub type of guy. That was a big one for me. You got to let the guys, on the other team get tired legs, and then Spicer goes from being, maybe effective to almost guaranteed he's going to be an effective player if he comes in as a substitute in the 70th minute. And I think from the beginning of that game, he put us on the back foot, and we ended up losing a game that you want to get some points out of for sure. And it was decided in the last, an extra time in the 90th minute, where you'd sure wish we had a guy like Spicer come in and put the pressure on, and maybe we had a different result there. Against Philly, kind of like the same thing. When you go up 2 goals, it's like, I saw a lot of play on that match. I saw a lot of player mistakes, to be honest. I don't want to pin it directly on the coach there too, but it's just, I don't know why we're playing such, like you say, defensive soccer when we don't have the defense right now. We just don't. It's the spine is. I mean, Iago has been a great bright spot, right? But the midfield, man, it starts in the midfield, right? I mean, this whole game that we love to watch, it's the best teams in the world. They have usually the best midfield. And that's kind of how it works. I don't care how good your attackers are or how good your defenders are. Those 2 guys, I'll harp it over and over again, that we have playing right now in the midfield. It's not good enough. It's not good enough from them. And, taking out, I've been saying Otavio needs to be a starter. I think he plays better as a starter. I think he's shown that. undoubtedly, in my opinion. I think he's good enough to be a starter. And, the two guys that we have there right now, they're just, we have to have Justin Ellis drop back to create going forward. And then we have to have Jansen and Iago back there to stop in the defense. And if any of those things aren't going the way, if we mess up, change any of that, we're smoked right now. So what we thought going into the season was going to be our strongest point in the midfield, in my opinion, it is by far the weakest link, and we're paying $800,000-900,000 for each of these guys. So Mike, I know you're big on I know you're big on they just can't play together, but then that leads to the point of, even if we had a guy, even if we did start Otavio every match, then we got a $900,000 midfielder on the bench.
Or then we also have a $900,000 forward on the bench.
Yeah.
So yeah,
the roster, it's we've made some improvements. We kind of got screwed with whatever that guy, the center back guy, failing his medical, getting hurt.
Update on him. He also still has not played a game in Poland since our deal with him fell through. So whatever we found in his medical, clearly it was that bad that he has not played since then. So
yeah,
just I was talking with David from LPO about that, because I was also talking shit about about Carlos Coronel. He finally got his first start for Sao Paulo in the Copa Sudamericana against teams that I have never heard of. So
yeah, Jake puts it right. I mean, it's basically still Oscar Pereira soccer. He ain't lying when it comes to that. It's the same. You can't expect much. I mean, he was one of his guys, right? So I'm excited for something fresh to come in. I think a combination of a new coach and Antoine Griezmann, maybe a center back, is going to it's going to slap, especially with our schedule to end in the season. Our schedule is juicy for wins.
It should be.
I'm loving where we're at right now. I mean, I know we've been down, and I think Jake even said, like, how are we 10th right now? And I think he means that in like a how are we 10th right now?
Yeah, sorry, kind of a sarcastic. Like how are we in a position where we could actually be okay? Like,
yeah,
I was like, I'm like, if we won, we'd be like, what? Yeah, I was surprised.
I mean, the last dozen after the Leagues Cup, I mean, all of our tough games are at home. And on the road, it's like we got Toronto, Philly, New England, Atlanta. It's not bad. That's after the Leagues Cup. I'm going to ignore the two games first after the World Cup.
Oh,
we got to go to San Jose and then play Nashville. I'm going to ignore those two.
That's fair.
But after that, I mean, I think if Griezmann makes the impact that I think he can make, and we sign a defender, and a coach starts Otavio. Dude, I mean, I watch these two guys in the midfield, and I'm like, I miss Gervais. I'd rather start Otavio and Gervais. I'm done with these guys, these two dudes in the midfield. I'm done with them. I don't know about you guys. I'm just they're so frustrating to watch.
I like Brojeda better than I think Brojeda is fine.
He's terrible too, and I like him better than Atuesta too. I agree with that, but he still sucks most of the time. He still has made some huge mistakes this year. Some absolutely unforgivable mistakes.
Right.
My thing with Ojeda is I think that Ojeda plays better if he's playing with Otavio. They both suck if they're playing together.
Right.
Ojeda is less mistake prone with an Otavio next to him. That's just what I've picked up on.
To us, we got a couple times where he was playing the ball forward and his passing was better this last match. At the beginning, we were really getting through that midfield and really pushing the ball quickly, but then it just kind of fell apart after that. But their goal, I can't remember the last time we had a goal like it settled play until this goal against Atlanta. Like everything seems like a counterattack of sorts, right? This is the first time we like cut someone open, kind of, So I'm like, we are able to do that. Why don't we do that a little more? Why don't we keep the ball? Why don't we keep someone pinned? I just don't, I don't understand what that is. And Atlanta had, if they were a better side, they would have put 3 or 4 on us, to be honest. So
It's because it requires to have build up play, Eddie, and to cut
right,
people open. It requires a midfield.
right. That's true. It's true. And
That's
and
the
yeah, I
that's the
mean,
thing. Yeah.
Max too. Look, we're getting painted, but Max still making like saves that keep us in the game or win the games. It's crazy.
Think about it. The only way to skip over the midfield and score goals is to counter. That's it. Usually from the back
Right,
to the front. It's like
right. It's just it's just
those
Justin
guys
Ellis
have
like
just been
popping up.
too mistake prone between Atuesta and Brojeda, as you call them. They've just been way too prone
Messing
to
around,
mistakes
yeah,
this year
yeah.
to do anything, to build anything.
And the thing is, it's really weird because we have Dorsey up as like a striker. He's really up high, right? And then that means Altuesa, Brojeda got to go out wide to cover, right? And then that leaves the just vast space in the middle for people to run. If you watch, they just kind of cut in, and there's like 10 yards, and then Ojeda has to drop in there, or Ellis, or someone else, and then now everyone's like in a small space, and we don't have like you watch our defense, you don't have like you watch good defensive teams, you see like a strong most teams defending like a 4-4-2, right? You just don't see like these 2 lines and the 2 up front pressing. You just don't see a firm shape, in my opinion. And Angulo as good as he is tracking back, sometimes he just ventures forward. When he ventures forward, it leaves us really exposed, right? And so then the left side's mostly Brojeda, so he's got to go cover for Angulo, or he's going to run back, or Jansen or Marin or Recolo have to go and cover that space, and then that leaves more space in the middle. So it's just a weird kind of unbalanced situation. So it's frustrating. I thought the result, in a way, we were kind of,
We didn't deserve 3 points on this one.
So. I don't think that we didn't deserve 3 points. I thought that was kind of fair. I thought Atlanta probably had a more fair shot to 3 points, to be fair, as sad as it sounds.
No, they definitely did, for sure. I don't disagree with that whatsoever. For me, it was also just weird, and I don't mean to cut you off. It was just kind of weird, too, that like in this game, we also changed our shape. I don't know if we just changed our shape because of the fact that Pasalic was back, but we played more of a 4-4-2 flat than we did kind of playing that like 5-2-3 that we've been playing. Like,
I know Griezmann's
coming,
it, right? Right. I know Griezmann's coming, and you need to, like, I don't think people understand how good he is, right? They'll see, but this kind of like, let's try formations for Griezmann. You have a whole World Cup, like, space. Like, I know, because, what's his name's going to be there, Marco, but I feel like we don't need to like do this, like, let's try shapes out that fit Griezmann right now. Like, we have a whole break to do that, is what I'm saying. And it feels like that. But I do want to shout out, like, Dorsey's funny because we keep using him like he's Freeman, and he's good. In some ways, like, Freeman has some strengths, but Freeman is, like, Dorsey's a better passer, and Freeman wasn't like a good dribbler. Freeman's just a great athlete, and it's stuff like that. But so in some ways, Dorsey's like is actually probably more complete because he's an older guy too. But it's funny because right now Dorsey's got 2 goals, and I feel like he had another goal and something else, right? So I feel like he scored a good bit, but he is now tied with Marco Pasalic, Choupo-Moting, Bamba. What is it? Latte from Atlanta. Latte Laugh. He's tied. How much did that guy cost? Right? He was killing it in the championship.
21 million, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, he's a bust. This guy's a huge bust. I mean, he was a sub. He was trash. And Griffin Dorsey is on the same amount of levels as goals as that guy. One behind Wilfred Zaha and Rodrigo De Paul, and he's even with Josh Sargent. It's crazy. What a time.
Nuts. All right. Well.
So, yeah.
Weird times. Weird times.
Yeah. Like Jake says, and Alex said, and you guys have said that. What's the point of like being this defensive? We're not good at it. Like, I'm an Arsenal fan, right? Today 1-0. They're good at defense. Burnley had no shots. not shots on target. 0 shots in the 57-minute on. 0 shots. David Raya's got 19 clean sheets. We have 33 clean sheets this year. 19 clean sheets, and in 6 of those clean sheets, he didn't face a shot on target. That when you can do that, you can play defensively when your defense is good. When it's not, then you. I get trying to be hard to beat, but it just doesn't seem like we're good at defense. We don't have the right personnel. It's mainly that midfield. Yan Santiago can do it, and Breckalo's proven he could be a good defender, and Marin's been pretty good this year for the most part, in the right context. But we have no teeth in the midfield. Their shape is weird, too much bite, and and if our attackers are our best asset, why are we wearing them down? I've seen Duncan McGuire, last match he went into box and made a huge block in the box from up top, and Ojeda taking off people's feet off the box, and Ellis dribbling people at the top of the box, not just on corners. They should not. Our attackers shouldn't be there. It's too far to get to the other goal. The further you are from the goal, the harder it is to score, right? So let's try to get our best players close to the goal as quick as possible, as often as possible, as soon as possible, and then we'll probably do a better job of winning.
So I was going to say, I do want to move on because I think we spent enough time talking about this. But one last thing that I'll add is I was also confused, too, when the lineup came out. I understand wanting to get Bracalo back into the starting lineup, but I don't understand sacrificing Iago for him. I'd rather sacrifice Marine for him because Iago, I feel like, had been in a good run of form, and it made sense to keep him going and keep him progressing. But just one of those, another thing that I just kind of didn't understand. If you're not, I would have rotated for this game and been full tilt for the Open Cup more than go full tilt for this game. And now I'm worried what kind of rotations we might see tomorrow. So
right. And it's probably, we've heard some things about Breckalo and wanting to play left back. I hope it wasn't that, or not wanting to play left back.
Well, he's doing it now. So at least playing. I don't know. We'll figure it out. So, all right, stock up, stock down. Swag, who you got this week as far as stock up, stock down between both games?
Justin Ellis, stock up, easy. It probably doesn't get much more easy than that. And stock down, I'm going to just give it to the midfield still, man. They are so frustrating to watch play together. Something's got to give.
I feel you.
It's sad that Ryan Ojeda is the better one because I think he's been just miserable.
He's funny. He just looks like his little dog just running around, just flying at everything.
I mean, some of the giveaways he's had, man, are just like, what are we doing?
Right. I do. It's
this
so
guy's
funny
supposed to be an MLS vet. He's supposed to have the most experience in this league, and it's like you'd think. I don't know. Yeah. What did I say? I think that, and I mean, it's just some of these guys in the midfield. I haven't seen a bigger fraud in the midfield since Antonio Nocerino.
Wow. Yeah. What's it called? Oh yeah, stock up Ellis. I mean, it's a great week. What a breakthrough! He's put himself on the map with this, right? And the U.S. men's national team, the fan stands, they're known for their reasonable takes. They've had some interesting ones with Justin Ellis this week. But I thought Dorsey had the goal and he had some crucial moments. So I just want to give him some credit. Exciting Whites, a week. So and Duncan, I thought Duncan played well in both games actually. And Octavio. It's funny when you see him play because he looks like Wilder and Higuita's kind of like he's just like a meld of them.
Spiritual child.
The way he runs and kind of fancies like real upright like Wilder. But sometimes just seeing him and he breaks some crazy tackles. But sometimes just seeing him like get stuck in and then just pick his head up and just ping it right away direct forward. It's just comforting, right? I'm just like it's like a. You know what I mean? That's what I want to see from a 6. Just get in there, give me that ball, push it forward. Not when Brojeda loses it, it's when he's trying to do too much, So, so I'm with you on that. And stock down. I mean, I don't want to keep going back to that midfield pairing and the changing formations all the time. I just don't know, man. I don't really know. I don't know what to so stuck down to that midfield and the whole midfield. I mean, Otavio was at fault in Philly, and then Wilder. I love Wilder. I can't wait for him to come back. Boy, he's just maybe he needs minutes to come up to par, or he's really not fit yet. But he's been trash. Like the 10 minutes he's had, he's been really bad. So I'm just dying for someone to take that midfield spot. And then anytime they make a mistake, I'm part of me is like, Atuesta makes a mistake. I'm like, see? And then I'm like, bring my boy in. He makes a mistake. I'm like, So it's not I'm rooting for Atuesta and Brohead to make mistakes, but I just the balance right. I want it to be rectified, but these guys are going to take a step up and take that opportunity, or else we're going to get stuck with this pairing. I think they really wanted to work, and you put a lot of money in there, so it's wild.
Yeah, for me, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to give stock up to Griffin Dorsey. Just, he's the guy in the right positions at the right time. Like, especially the goal that he got against Philly, literally took the ball off Thiago's foot. You could tell Thiago was a little bit ticked off in the moment, but he had a better shot than Thiago was going to be able to get off, and it was a banger of a goal. He's playing the way that they want to deploy him, and he's doing his job well. So
and
I'll go ahead
goal,
and
the Open Cup, the give and go with Ellis, right?
With Ellis, yep.
So it's like 3 and 5 or 4 for him, this guy.
Yeah, exactly. Three in his past 5, which coming from technically a fullback, I say technically because his position's kind of been ambiguous. We'll go ahead and leave it at that. Stock down, I mean, I can give it to the midfield as well. It is the midfield. It's also going to go to the coaching, which I've been harping on that too, because good coaching notices that things are not going well, and it's starting in the midfield. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and anticipating different results. So we don't have good coaching because we're trying the same thing by way of insanity. It's not working, dude. It's not working. We need to find something better. So I saw a couple stock up shouts for Ellis. Will Glizzy, I think Wilder's playing a little scared.
I forgot about Nacho Gomez.
Yeah, well, Nacho can't play. I mean, he can play tomorrow potentially. We'll see. We'll talk about that here in a second. So we'll find out, I guess. But I do, before we go ahead and talk tomorrow, I just want to give a quick shout to if you didn't see over the weekend. Let me go ahead and see if I could get the image file shared here real quick without it screwing up. That would be awesome. We did have Antoine Griezmann's farewell.
Baby.
Please don't drop him. Please don't drop him.
Too high.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I picked that image on purpose because literally as I was watching, I was like, whoa, chill out there for a second. But I only wanted to bring this up just to kind of bring up the magnitude of how much he meant to Atletico Madrid. They spent an hour and a half post-game for his final home game. They brought out club owners, former club presidents. They brought out all of these legends of the club that they revered him with. They basically played a here is your life moment, video of all of his best goals and highlights. He gave a speech about how he said it was a mistake for me to have left for Barcelona. I can't believe I did that. He's like, I want to go retire in MLS in America. That's going to be my last stop, but I want to come back and help Madrid win more trophies in the future when I retire fully from soccer. They gave, and granted, it looks empty there. This was after everything had ended. There was not an empty seat in that stadium from Madrid fans for that full hour and a half presentation post-game. And there wasn't a dry eye in the crowd for the most part. Anytime that they were discussing him, he was speaking, they were showing his highlights. We are getting who, if he is not the best player in their history, he is top 2. He is that impactful to that team over time. They love him. He is a god to them in some regards. And he is still at the top of his game. They were they won this game, but they were the players were actively trying to get him a goal in his final home game for Atletico Madrid in what was his 500th appearance for the team.
He
Like,
just embodies their way of playing.
everything
culture
about them.
really well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just one of those things. I wanted to bring that up real quick just to, like, kind of remind everybody the kind of caliber of player that we're getting.
Right.
He's going to elevate this squad. He does have one more game left to play, and he likely will play in it because right now they are tied for third with Alex Freeman's Villarreal. So the winner of that final game will end up realistically determining who finishes third, who finishes fourth. And for seeding for Champions League, it is important to be third over fourth potentially. So, he will play in that final game, but I just wanted to go ahead and bring this up because he's still been playing for them week in and week out, even though he's a little bit older. Reports are he's paying attention to everything that's going around on us. I just want you to know we are getting a special player for the way that Madrid cared about him and the send-off that they gave him. So that's all I wanted to touch on that real quick. And also, just again, you didn't have to throw him that high.
Right. The fact that he's seen this defense and this team, he's like, yeah, I'm still going. Like, I will never forget that. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, I'm gonna give a hot take. I'm gonna give a hot take. I'm probably overreacting, but I've seen him a little decent amount, especially in the Champions League tie with Arsenal. I honestly think he's going to be our best player in history. Like, it's going to be clear, but I think people are going to look out for output. He's a kind of guy who does everything, right? He's gonna defend. He's gonna create chances. He's gonna do everything. If you like football, you're gonna like Griezmann. If you're gonna want 25 goals, I'm not sure if that's not who he is. But in regards to his current state, like Kaká, no, he was better than Kaká. He's probably better. I mean, he's never better. Kaká at his peak was better, and Kaká had maybe 10 games, 5 here and a couple there because of his injuries and his time. And he actually
I would put a slight argument to that because yes, he was better at his peak, but Griezmann has had a much bigger peak.
Right. And Kaká was on the World Cup team, but he played like 25 minutes.
He was on the World Cup team. He did win the Ballon d'Or. Griezmann didn't win the Ballon d'Or, but Griezmann won a World Cup. So,
he was very useful. Yeah. And look, and Griezmann did that with, I mean, he's so
scored in a World Cup final.
Yeah, the striker had no goals, Giroud, but like he's so vital to how that all worked. Like he was the undroppable, and honestly, just as a complete footballer, we've seen him create chances with both feet, defend in his box, go wide, pop up everywhere, all over the place. This is going to be moments where I'm begging the fan base to like hold. I told it when Kaká made a pass and someone wasn't there, it usually wasn't Kaká's fault. When Nani sent the cross in and no one already was there, it's because Rooney was there before. And Kaká sent it in is because other guys were there, right? Like they're right. Our MLS guys are going to be wrong. Like, Griezmann says you should be there. He's probably right. So you're going to see some of that at the beginning. You're going to see, well, what kind of pass was that? Well, because they didn't make the right run. They didn't do that. But eventually there's just going to be moments of brilliance that he's just such a complete player in a different mind. He's got like this brain. He's got like a Kaká level brain, but he's still got some athleticism. Not like Nani, but Nani had like spells where he was unplayable. But
Nani couldn't play the last half of every season.
Yeah, Nani's his I don't know, like I think his floor, I think the thing about Griezmann is his ceiling has always been high, but his floor has always been super high. Right? Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing about him. Maybe he never had that because even his son or whatever, and Mueller and these guys, but he's still his floor is still really high. He's still really good, and he's super durable. So hopefully he continues that. But I just always been a huge fan. I like these smart footballers who just do a little bit of everything, and he really is that. And he gets along. He seems like a good dude. He speaks every language in the world, like Jake talks about, and he's gonna have the gravitas there to command the room. Like bro, he's captain, Jansen, whatever, bro. Like I don't care about that stuff. But I just understand that if they let him and they listen, people's egos get out of the way. This guy can change it. We get into like 5, 6, 7 seed. Do it, Alex. You missed it. Chance there, 6-7 seed. That was unintentional. I just, but if we get there and we've seen teams make runs.
No, I'm gonna mute Eddie for that. Come on, you can't be doing that, brother.
I didn't do
All
it.
right.
I didn't.
I
didn't say it for that reason. Yeah, I didn't say it for that reason. I promise. I just after I said it, it came out because I don't want to say I was going to say fifth or fourth seed. I'm like, let's not get carried away either with this defense, right? So that's why I went to 6-7. But my point is, he could take over matches, and he could take us somewhere great. And this is a huge signing. And but I want people to be patient and then understand. And honestly, if you're seeing him and you're like, oh, he's not what I thought, it's because you get that wrong. You just understand him yet, and you're probably wrong. Like he's not going to dribble 20 people and do other stuff. He's gonna meld everything together if people are good enough and intelligent enough to understand it. And on the team, and we have some players who can combine and be smart. Marco, if he's still here, Martin and Ellis and Duncan. These guys can combine and make it work. We just need to set up a system where it's that way too. So, and if we play Haram Ball in Canada, that's what he's done most of his career too. So, it's perfect. So,
he'll still be good.
I don't think we will be.
Yeah, I still think. Yeah, honestly,
you got to get an attacking coach. Like
if we're gonna play Haram Ball, there's no better like DP. Like him and Center play defense and Mueller, Bayern. It's just easy league. Like this is like the king of terrorism on Haram Ball. So like if we continue with this, it's just gonna be even better. And so don't get excited about attacking possession football because that's not what he's done. He did it, but that's not what he's done his whole career. So he's actually a perfect fit to this style at this current time. So we'll see.
All right. Well, with that, we got 2 games this week. All of us together on the show. It's been a minute, so we're talking more than we usually do. We're excited. But we got the quarterfinal tomorrow against Atlanta. Atlanta at home, 2 games in a row. They kind of rested some players. We kind of didn't. I do have good news that I saw out of training. I realize I probably don't have my right microphone set up, so that's weird. I messed up there.
You sound fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, now I sound better.
There you go. Oh, there it is. Yeah. It's on luscious now.
I didn't even realize I didn't plug it in. So sorry, everyone listening, for the audio sounding different. But we rested some. The good news that I got out of training camp, per sources, and by sources, I mean they posted a video of it online. Janssen trained today. He trained fully. Janssen's good to go. I've heard that there was some scans that were done. They came back negative. So plan is to start Janssen on Tuesday. So realistically, he got an extra half of rest. That's not a bad thing. I'll take that. But we are now in a situation where a lot of our star players didn't get a lot of rest. So granted, they started Moranchuk. I think they didn't start Latte Loth, but he came on late. I could see him starting. We're in a situation now where we will be tired in this game. But it's a game you got to win. Justin Ellis said it today. He said, we're playing in a quarterfinal right now. He said, we know that the only option in this game for this game is to win, which I think it's kind of crazy that they put him to the press, but he's like, the only option for this game is win, and we're going to win by any means necessary. So I like that cutthroat mentality. Now go do it on the field. So Swag, I'll go to you first. What's your prediction for the quarterfinal tomorrow night?
Is Otero going to start?
You better not.
I have heard he might.
Oh God!
Which, if that happens, I question everything. I don't know why you would do that.
What are we worried?
Why are we resting a goalkeeper? It's like it's a goalkeeper.
A goalkeeper that wants to start at the World Cup. So realistically, he should be trying to get as many minutes to prove he's better than Dane St. Clair as possible.
If we start Otero tomorrow and lose, Perelman should coach on Saturday.
Here's a semi-confirmation. So
he shouldn't. If He shouldn't. Perelman should not coach on Saturday. If we start Otero and lose tomorrow, I think we need to just relieve him of his duties. We just go into Saturday and don't even have a coach. I think the guys will figure out who's going to start.
Let
this time
Robin and
themselves.
Tincho coach instead. Coach
Yeah,
on the field.
no problem. No problem for me. No, absolutely no problem. Yeah, with that little tidbit, I'm gonna say 1-1, and we win in penalties.
Oh, wow.
Hey, if we get to there, at least that's where Otero's decent.
Unfortunately, I think that's probably best case scenario.
It covers most of the goal. Yeah. Look, Otero. A lot of times, you got to play that other keeper in the cups because you promised them and you don't want him to go away. But that's not an incentive to Otero. Keep him from going away. So yeah, that brings me down. I was just like, we got outplayed against them, and like you said, they arrested people, and we're going to be tired. So it doesn't look good coming in, bruv. But I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm gonna go you guys 1-1 and pens, and we take it, and Griezmann comes for the next round,
which I would love to see. I'm gonna go.
If we win this, we're winning the
here.
Cup. I got news for you guys.
You what?
If we win this game, we're gonna win the Cup.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah, good point here. Not many good teams left. Maybe the Earthquakes. San Jose, by far, scariest team left in the tournament.
Bruce Arena, man.
And we played them in the final, and we would host.
We would host if we made it that far.
And they'd have to travel all the way midweek. So if we win this game, we're winning the Cup.
We're also gonna crowdsource me getting down there for it.
Which is why it's absolutely asinine to even consider starting Javier Otero tomorrow.
Bingo. Anyways,
because if we win this game, we win the. Sorry, I almost dropped an F-bomb.
You could drop an F-bomb
right now.
Did it? I did it last week. It's explicit. That's all. So.
Yeah, I just.
But. All right, so for me then, I am not going to go with a 1-1 draw and penalties. Give me a 3-2 win. Cardiac Cats, get it done. I got to give them 2 goals because if we are starting Otero, I do not feel comfortable about it. I felt like all of the goals against New England were preventable. So not something that I necessarily want to see. Yeah, got David again. He also is hopeful that Kripo takes the gloves, but he was my source on the inside. He said that there's a possibility. So I don't like it.
Yeah,
but
I think he means he takes the gloves. Yeah, if I'm Kripo, I'm walking in like he's not starting this game.
Yeah,
period.
You guys. He's like, you guys are high.
Somebody better go up to Martin Perelman and say, "Hey, doofus, I know." We all know that you're out of a job in about 7.5 days, but we're not doing this. I'm going to inspect the team sheet before you submit it, and if Otero's on, you're not coaching.
Pure cinema, in my opinion, if that happens. I'm all for it. But give me a 3-2 win. Give me a Ellis and Pasalic goal, and Duncan McGuire gets the winner. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. That's what I'm going to be rooting for. We do have a second game. You could say whatever you want, my man. This is your show. I got this feeling in
my stomach.
Pit of your stomach?
I got this feeling
chicken.
that this guy named Ivan Angulo is going to score a goal for the first time in however long.
Love it.
I can see it. He's going to deflect off with someone's knee. He'll flip it in.
I got a feeling
that tonight's going to be a good night.
Hopefully it's a good night.
I support Angulo scoring. So that brings us to second game of the week, which, in my opinion, just takes far less precedence here. We go Cincy away before the World Cup break. This is the last game before the World Cup break. We've been in talks about trying to figure some things out as far as content to do during the World Cup break. I've been in contact with Mr. Evan Weston. I think we might try and get him on the show. Might try and get maybe someone from the academy, talk about how good the development's been out of the academy. We got some names of people that we're going to try and get on, do a couple interview shows here and there. Give you guys some updates on how things are going, how we're feeling. Maybe I'll get Soccer Wise on, hit up David Goss or something, try and get him to talk for a little bit. Maybe Doyle. I don't know. We'll figure something out. See how they feel about how things could be better over here. But anyways, we're not going to be active throughout the World Cup cycle. Just a reminder for you there. But we got one game left away at TQL Stadium, which I already saw Cincy fans kind of saying, like, can you guys please let us win at our stadium against you this time? Because I guess it is always a draw. So for that reason, give me a 2-2 draw. I'm going to be honest with it. Martino Hayda brace, 2-2 draw. That's what I'm predicting. Eddie, what do you got?
Yeah, same. 2-2 draw. I mean, we play like we're on the road at home anyway, so in some reason we just do well up there in Cincy. I don't know why. It's like a Lions, it's like Mufasa versus Scar. Spoiler alert.
If we were a good team, this would be called a trap game, just because we're looking forward to the World Cup break. So I don't know what you call a trap game for a bad team. I don't know. It's just I don't know, but I could care less about this game if we win on Tuesday. I really.
If we win on Tuesday, I agree.
I really
Yeah,
don't care.
Me too. I would say be up there. I was like, whatever.
How about this? 0-0 draw. We get a shutout going into the World
Shut
Cup.
out.
I was going to ask you guys what happens first? Angulo scores or we get a shutout?
Ooh.
Both happen this week, baby.
Both on Tuesday.
Both on Tuesday.
Well, hey, the Open Cup shutout doesn't count because we got the shutout against FC Naples. We need a league shutout. So
if both of those things happen on Tuesday and Antoine Griezmann comes in, we're winning the cup. Give us the double.
The double.
Wouldn't that be like the most Orlando City thing to do? Like how bad we were, negative 20-something goal differential, and then somehow we win the Open Cup, and then absolutely punt the Leagues Cup. If we play hard in the Leagues Cup, I'll be. There has to be where the coach that we hire, we have to tell him, hey, you're hired, but these 3 games just
don't care.
We don't care.
We're gonna break the record by like 20 goals allowed, and then we're gonna win like the Open Cup, and then we're gonna be singing to like Miami's gonna maybe won't win the supporters and lose in the final or something, and we'll be yelling about how they didn't win a trophy, and we did.
Hey,
completely
it's about time. It's about time they finally got a win in their brand new stadium. It only took us one visit to get a win down there. I don't know what took them so long.
They still got our name up.
Shameless is our style, brother. That's our go-to.
I love it.
You know me, when you saw me in Orlando, I think I tweeted more in that day when we beat Miami than I did like in a year. Just you wait.
I love it. I love it. All right. Well, that brings us to the end of an episode. We got some shout outs. So I got a couple myself, but I'm going to go ahead and kick it over to Swag first. Swag, do you got any shout outs this week, my man?
Yeah, you just when you said Evan Weston's name, man, shout out to that guy, huh? This guy
so happy for him, dude.
He's the best announcer on Apple TV, in my opinion. I mean, there's nobody that does a game like he does, and I don't know if there's even bias in that, to be honest. I mean, I was watching one of the other games that he was announcing on Saturday, and I was like, this guy is electric. This is what you want to listen to when you're listening to a play-by-play, and he's next to Dax McCarty, who thought that we sold out the stadium. I called him Dax Ray Charles McCarty because he said it's definitely a sellout here on Wednesday.
Yeah, bro, look, boy, lying.
Not quite, my man. Not quite. I will
talk about the guy on the group project that carries the team. That's Evan Weston. Shout out.
Yeah,
I do want to echo what you're saying, because clearly the league has to think highly of him too, because of the fact that he also has a rotating color commentator. Like 1 week he's got Dax, next week he's got Sasha, next week he's got somebody else. Like they're rotating different people with him, and he's still quality every time. So shout out Evan.
Right? Yeah. Imagine being next, to Sasha for 3 hours. Yeah. So yeah.
Sorry, Jake. My bad, Jake. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, wow. Yeah. But yeah, no, Evan's great. Evan's the only time I'll listen to it in English with Evan. Just because Spanish is so much better, to be honest. Like, oh, it's 12 minutes
Well,
long.
hey,
No. Because
hopefully
in
you get
Spanish, I get
Miguel's
Sergio all
on
the time.
Spanish at least.
Oh, bro, I got Miguel last game. And Miguel is hilarious, man. He's great. And then Sergio, sometimes other games,
Sergio's
So
good people too.
yeah. And then, sometimes when I get sometimes it's been them together. It's like, no Argentines, great, So so it's that's how bad I hate the English commentary that I actually listen through 90 minutes of two Argentinians at the same time talking at Miami game. That says a lot.
God
You
damn
guys
it.
know. Yeah. So, anyways, the shout outs to Academy, buddy. That's it. I saw Javier Carrillo before one of the games. I've only listened to him a few times, but I was like, brother, you're doing a great job. I don't think you know me, but I messaged you a few times, and you're doing a great job. And look, shout outs. I got my boys in North London, the Red. One more game, and that's it. They're champions, and then
Get the job done for you, man.
Yeah. And all you I don't want to say that word, but we went bend over for City. Like, enough already. This Arsenal winning is good for football. Get over yourself.
I'd prefer Arsenal winning over City, and I'll
you're a United fan.
I mean, I'm
Liverpool twerking for City all these years.
I'm just happy that they're giving Carrick the job. I think he's more than deserved it for the performance he's put in taking over as caretaker. So I'm very happy that they at least did the right thing by Carrick there.
Right. But some of these guys, Eddie, I didn't know you were some of these guys in England were like, I didn't know you were a Manchester United fan. Given that you're from Cuckfield, England.
Eddie,
the home of Don
decision day in the EPL is really can be insane. So
right, well, it might not be a thing tomorrow if childhood best friend, what's his name, Dr. Octopus, what's his name, the coach of
Alfred Molina.
Alfred Molina, coach of Bournemouth, does a favor for his
Andre Areola.
Yeah, Andre Areola looks just like Alfred Molina, man. Look at him.
He does. Unfortunately, I didn't know what you were getting at first.
Right. I forgot his real name, so I went with that. The Alfred Molina, shout out Puerto Rican. I'm just kidding. He is though. But him and Xabi Alonso, Areola, and Arteta are best friends from childhood, same area.
That's cool.
If he there,
so what
City?
What happens if Crystal Palace? What happens to the relationship between you and Daryl if Crystal Palace spoils it all?
Crystal Palace. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see.
Hey man,
I still got the 2017 World Series over Daryl.
I just need I need right now is I just need that West Ham win and that Tottenham loss and
that'll be the
Tottenham relegation, and we get Richarlison on a discount. No, that's what I'm rooting for.
Right.
Manchester United's finishing third no matter what. I really don't care what happens.
well, I think part of why you stayed in Europe too was because of the Brazil stuff, and I honestly think him not being called up is happy. So
he got left out. Really crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm. John Pedro being left out was weird. John Peter, that was weird because he's way better than Charleston.
Yeah, John Pedro, that was weird. Brazil, the fact that they called up Neymar in general was weird. Shout out former Orlando City B legend Leo Pereira making the World Cup squad for Brazil. So weird to say that a former Orlando City B player. He played a couple games for the first team, but
what's that striker that was like Kaká's last game, one of his last games where we got eliminated the Open Cup. And that striker, and then we signed him. He scored. And he scored like a game winner for us against DC.
Stefano Pino?
Pino got just schooled Leo Pereira that day. I was like, this guy stinks, Or he just wasn't trying, and now look at him. It's in the Brazil World Cup.
We'll also give a quick shout out to Marko Pasalic, officially announced for the Croatia World Cup roster, along with other MLS guy in Petar Musa.
He's gone.
Yeah, right. I feel like that kind of does put the nail in the coffin that he might be gone.
Mission
if he has
accomplished.
A decent World Cup, which hey, enjoy Werder Bremen, man. You know, if
Yeah,
that ends up happening.
The social media post is like, what a meteoric rise. It's like mission accomplished. He came here, got his name out a little bit. He got some minutes. He was a big fish in a smaller pond kind of thing, and now he's going to go
back.
Yeah,
those social media posts very much felt like, you know, meteoric rise. It's like, yeah, it kind of feels like they know.
The thing about Orlando is we get play people for like family. Like if you're young in South America, Orlando's not an attractive place to you. And then you know, like whatever in European, like Janssen, like brother, the guy was whatever putting shoes on reindeers or whatever, like a few months back. But I don't think he's got a kid or whatever. But Marco is just like younger, and he seems like, you know, Janssen seems more like, you know, he just goes home and just like whittles on wood or whatever. And Marco seems like he still wants to go out and party, and he doesn't have a family. Greason's coming here for family, Nani family. Kaká was too perfect. His wife divorced him because he was such a family and perfect man. And then like, well, my point is like people come here for family. Like Marco this is a stop. Ojeda's comfortable. He's got a family, you know. That's why Ojeda re-upped, even though he probably been good enough to go back to a better team in Argentina than where he left.
That was still that Kaká story was crazy.
And Facu came back because he's got a family. They didn't adapt well in Brazil. He wants to come back for family, you know. So yeah,
it's true. All right, so I got a couple quick shout outs. First, shout out to Dropout TV, new season of Game Changer tonight. Super excited to sit down and watch that when we're done. One of the most fun. It's one of the most fun shows out there. So if you enjoy good comedy, I highly recommend it.
I don't know, Dropout TV or that show is. Never heard of it.
We'll talk later. I'll send you some stuff. Then I want to go. Jake mentioned movies. I haven't not been to the movies because I've been traveling for work lately. But this week I'm going to try and see Mortal Kombat, Obsession, and then potentially I Love Boosters. I think I'm going to try and see as well. So all those look pretty solid. Obsession, I've heard awesome things about. So, and last thing I want to shout out, just because it's funny. You guys ever drive past a place that you're like, that feels like it's a front? Like, there's a place by Red Rocks.
Yeah, dude, Crystals.
I agree. There's a place by Red Rocks that is an Italian restaurant. And I just drive by it every time, and I'm like, there's no way that was not somebody's front that they named on their first day of mob school without realizing how obvious it was. It's an Italian restaurant named Tony Rigatoni's. Like, that feels fake as hell. I haven't been there yet, but now it's my goal. I got to go eat at Tony Rigatoni's because I feel like it just sounds like such a fake place. Other than that, go Knicks and go Mets. Won the Subway Series. Excited about that.
I did that the other day, Mike. Floor and Decor Depot.
Oh, like yeah. They're huge.
There's no way they're selling all this flooring.
There's a giant one in that and at home in Claremont. There's just
they're
like big stores. Like, big stores. I'm like, you know, like when I go at home, there's no one home. It's empty. I've been there a couple times.
Like, and everything's on sale. Everything's always on sale too. Like, no wonder no one shops here. That's why it's all on sale.
Right.
All right, guys.
Shout out to Celtic for, you know, almost not winning for the 40th year in a row.
So Wilfred Nancy, he still gets a winner's medal, right? You know, I'm sure of it. All right, guys. Well, that is a episode. Vamos Orlando. Den After Dark. I'll be back tomorrow night after the Open Cup game. I'll also be watching the Knicks at the same time. So if I'm distracted while I'm doing it live, apologies. But we'll find out how that goes. We'll talk Saturday. We'll probably do an episode next week, I'm assuming, just to kind of like recap things. So that way we don't leave everything super empty before the World Cup. But hey, we love you guys. We appreciate you. Vamos Orlando. Let's go ahead and close out this stretch before the World Cup breaks strong. And we'll come back with an even stronger team when we get back. Hopefully a new coach too.
Next time we preview a match,
Antoine Griezmann's playing. He's playing in it. He's starting. Full 90. No rest, apparently.
And Alex will have 2 kids.
Oh, that's also true. That's also true. He's going to have 2 kids. All right, guys. We love you. Vamos. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for joining us this week on the Orlando Lions Den podcast. Don't forget to follow us at Orlando Lions Den on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. See you next week in the Den.